So welcome back, guys, and this is gonna be round number 5 in our Swiss bracket, and we have a spicy one for y'all today. This time, it's gonna be Francis Tai versus Nigel Descalzo, and both at a 3-1 ranking here on round number 5. Wow, we're coming closer and closer to top cuts. We're trying to see who's gonna make it there.
Just a few more rounds until we see who gets the top 8. Best of the best.
Best of the best indeed. And we're having a pretty good day here so far. Had a number of participants all around us having a good time playing some Pokemon VGC. And this is just the start. PGP looking to make this a little more standard, having events here, there, and everywhere. Or hopefully we can have some better ones into the future.
Yeah. Hopefully we do see this the scene grow some more in the future with all these events going on and all these people attending these events, especially.
Yeah, especially what?
Especially with all these people coming in, bringing in more and more people as word of mouth spreads.
Word of mouth, and you guys sharing the stream is a good one here. So I've been enjoying casting some VGC throughout PAL on and off as a competitor, but it's time to see what these two have to offer. Francis on the left, gonna have that Lipard. We also see a Surfetched into the field. Darmanitan, of course, Torkoal. We all have a Hatterene and an Indeedee female. In the meantime, for Nigel, it's also a Lipard on the same side. The real question is, and the Hatterene, and an Indeedee, and a Torkoal. So the difference here for these two players are going to be that Haxorus and that male Jellicent versus the Surfetched and of course that Darmanitan. So what can you say about those two variances? No, actually, let's talk about their similarities. What do you think is the game plan for both sides?
The game plan for both sides, I can expect probably both of these Lipards to be pranksters. This is most probably their use for both of the squads. The thing about Lipards' prankster setup is we don't know what it can run. It used to run things like Swagger and Foul Play just to deal with targets by confusing them, just dealing damage. But with the Indeedee on both sides, we're not sure if they'll bring in the prankster for either side.
But here we go.
It's
handshake of victory apparently. Tai versus Kai, Francis versus Nigel, round number 5 action. And guys, it's time to get into this one yet again.
We will see who they lead.
Indeedee and
both
Haxorus
lead with the Indeedee.
Yes.
Shiny Haxorus versus the Hatterene on the other side.
So the Hatterene can actually go for a very pesky play. It really depends on what kind of setup the Hatterene has. But with the Indeedee on the field, you can say that it's more onto the damage and Psychic Surge, going to be amplifying whatever it has in the bank as well. And we'll see if there's going to be a sweeper type here for the Hatterene. In the meantime, Haxorus, of course, going to be looking to cleave its way to victory.
Hatterene also has the ability to just set up Trick Room right off the bat, especially with the possible follow me play from Indeedee, because back in the early days of Sword and Shield, we did see that Indeedee Hatterene a lot during this during the format. Just now seeing it back in this competition, in this lead versus Francis and Nigel.
Yeah, blast from past year and now. And here in Pokemon, you don't really see like the nerf buff cycle like you see in other games, right?
Yes.
It really is just, especially in Sword and Shield, we're adding new Pokemon. But we are still on Season 2 rules, guys, so take note of that. Here we go with Nigel, gonna start things off with that Dynamax. It is gonna be looking to be onto the Haxorus, I believe, and there you go.
Big black Dragon Boy we see.
Max Whirlwind's gonna be all abound, and everything else in store can actually destroy, especially that is on the more physical edge, gonna be able to slice and dice onto the hats. But Indeedee gonna go for the helping hand. That Haxorus is primed for action.
And we do see the helping hand from the other side on the Hatterene, non-Dynamax Hatterene.
Both sides going for the helping hand, but Haxorus goes first. Here comes the Max Wake. Gonna be looked to slam onto the Hatterene and down. No, it doesn't go down. It's tanky enough, apparently. Pay attention to that, ladies and gentlemen. 26 HP onto Francis Hatterene, and it's still ready to go. Dazzling Game onto 2.
That special defense buff from the Max Quake probably helping the Haxorus quite a bit versus that helping hand Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah, it's half HP gone already onto the Haxorus. If it wasn't Dynamax, well, that would have been the show there. But the Hatterene be in a spot of trouble. Can actually go for a setup, as you say, the Indeedee, always a possibility to go for that follow me. Pay attention, guys, pay attention to me.
We'll see what Francis does versus this Haxorus Indeedee lead.
Yeah,
And it does go for Nigel does go for the helping hand again onto the Haxorus.
helping hand. It's time to go for the attack
do
yet
see
again.
the Max Quake
Max
again.
Quake one more time onto the Indeedee this time.
And it lives with 2 HP.
2 HP. So we're not too sure if that's a focus sash or not because it stays alive enough to not show its item whatsoever. Psychic though from the Indeedee, the Haxorus at 20 HP already.
Crit. That's
Lucky.
a big damage.
That's a big crit right there. Dazzling should be able to mop things over. And the Dynamax, as soon as it comes, it goes offline. Haxorus down for the counts. Looking good here for Francis to start things off.
Francis now has the Dynamax advantage. He still has multiple Pokemon in the back that could probably deal with the other threats just by the double HP and those max moves. Very, very pesky.
Yeah, Indeedee still into the field. Unfortunately, that Katarine does go down there eventually. There go 1-1 apiece. What exactly happened to Katarine? I literally blinked and something happened.
The Indeedee went for a Psychic and it actually crit on the Haxorus, allowing Hatterene to pick up the kill with his Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah, but then unfortunately it just wasn't able to stay alive long enough afterwards.
Not long enough to capitalize on that 3-turn Dynamax. Well, we'll see. We do see the Hatterene on Nigel's side, so we do have a mirror match right now.
No, with the Hattery gone from the game. It's a Surf Fetch
It's a Surf
instead.
Fetch now, yes.
And this is very dangerous actually for the Surf Fetch. It is that fighting type, I believe, going to be looking to brawl as much as possible.
Yes, the Surf Fetch known for more physical oriented, a very physical oriented Pokemon. Surfetch sometimes going in for fishing for crits, but Surfetch does also have Scrappy. It's like it helps hit types that are normally immune to moves such as it's normal and fighting types.
Yes, and both sides, if you guys don't remember, these guys are both at 3-1 right now. So whoever does move on to take the victory here, gonna be primed for a spot in the top cut. But here comes a helping hand from the Indeedee. We haven't seen any real follow me actions here and now from both sides. The opposing Indeedee though gonna go for the Psychic onto the Surf Fetch.
Does kill the Surf Fetch.
Too ambitious there from Francis. He already had the Surf Fetch in a bad spot. Here comes the Tricks Room from Nigel. So there you go with the setup. And can Francis actually go for the knockdown? Now, with similar compositions, both sides can work with the Trick Room to the advantage. Darmanitan going to come out.
It does bring out the Darmanitan, which is normally built out as a speedy Pokemon. But we are not. There's always been the possibility that Darmanitan could probably be a slower variant, just to maybe take advantage of a bit of Trick Room.
Yeah, we'll see what that's going to be up to. But usually, the Darmanitan is that blink and you'll miss it Pokemon. One hit onto something, get that KO, and usually it's gone after that. But hey, it can continue if it stays alive. Here goes the follow me. Francis knowing that Darmanitan gonna be a little bit on a spot of trouble, because there you go. Priority last on the Darmanitan. Confirmed by the Hatterene going first here after that follow me. Indeedee gonna go down, and will it actually be able to tank long enough? That's gonna be the question. Life Orb though onto the Hatterene, getting exposed. And here go with the Psychic onto the Darmanitan. It stays alive, and now it's ready to go for the Earthquake! It might be able to get 2 here. Will it be enough to get the KO?
It is not enough to kill the Hatterene, as spread moves deal less damage in this doubles format.
Yeah, it's just not gonna be enough. Close but no cigar. The Hatterene's still alive, but Francis does still have its Dynamax, I believe.
He does, but with 3 rooms of Trick Room, what else can he do at this point?
Interesting choice here from Francis. Can go for the tank up, but usually the Darmanitan is one of those Pokemon you want to keep as a normal situation. You always want to look for those KOs. Psychic right now though from the Hatterene. The Darmanitan falls on down, and Nigel will take our first match here.
Francis taking that time just to recover and maybe like think about how to adjust to Nigel's decisions and strategies throughout that game.
Yeah, here we go though, and we are back after that one, pretty close, and you can really see that 4 out of 6 similarity. Now biting the hand that feeds and biting Francis there, brought out to the Darmanitan, but with the Trick Room in setup, well, it's very difficult in that regard.
We were talking about the Trick Room on the other side. Who would have thought that would have been set by on the opposing side of the 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 battle.
Yeah, and it could. I mean, it really depends on what you bring to the table. So the Manitan of the speedy nature couldn't really capitalize. If he had a Torkoal instead, though, could have been a whole different story. But it is what it is, and
This is why we have best of threes. You know, just to adjust, right?
yeah, and you can see what these players are really looking into in terms of the strategies. So now we know that Trick Room really is something they want to go into. We haven't seen much of Dynamax Dynamax there for Francis, so that's something he still has in the bag for Game 2, maybe even Game 3 if he can keep it up. And not much information has been shown. Like, we're not so sure if Francis actually has a Trick Room to begin with. If you notice, he didn't set it up.
He did not throw it out. Yes, VGC is it's such a information game. You have to win by hiding as much information for your opponent as possible, especially in longer sets. Because if you throw out all of your gimmicks or moves in the first match, you might be found out and just countered straight up for the second and third match.
Yeah, you're gonna be read like a book there, but seems like we are gonna get started into our next match already. We're gonna get information onto that, and it's already started. Here we go, match number 2. Francis gonna be going for the Indeedee Hatterene opening yet again versus the Haxorus Indeedee for Nigel. Same thing. We'll see if it's gonna be anyhow different.
Right now, if they go for that same startup again, we do know that the Haxorus is going down with just helping hands and dazzling gleams.
Yeah, so it's not really suited in the battle of the mind here. Braun apparently losing out to Brain in this scenario, but Nigel can actually turn things around to try and keep that thing alive with a few follow me's instead, if it does have it. But usually you expect, why would you play Indeedee female if you don't have that follow me to begin with? Here we go though with the Dynamax yet again, making that dragon be the king of the monsters in this first bout.
Yes, the thing about the follow me is though, it can be, if you've seen it so many times, you can read it so often that sometimes it's just better to go into like a helping hand or an attacking move. Or you do see a Dynamax on Francis' side, probably the Hatterene as we see the heal ball going out. Yes, it is the Hatterene Dynamaxing. Gigantamax Hatterene just about to be legal today. We do see that triumphant yes from the back. We hear
Erickson Marquez being noisy again, as per always. But here we go with the follow me from Nigel. This time he has learned his lesson, making sure that Haxorus is going to stay alive. In the meantime,
we do see the double follow me from both Indeedees.
Hey, I'm going to do the same thing you are, and it seems like those poor Indeedees going to take the brunt of the damage here. Dummies into play, out in the field, out in front. Going for the KO here, and now not gonna happen. Nigel though gonna get that special defense up, making his side a little more tanky. Very, very helpful in this matchup. Starfall though from the Hatterene.
Starfall going to set up that train.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little freaky here. Can be freaky Friday. Did you wake up in Chris Brown's body or something like that?
The body snatchers, I believe.
Yeah, but Hatterene losing some HP thanks to the Life Orb. Miss gonna be all around here.
In this situation, I'm not sure how helpful the Mist is against in this 2 versus 2 situation. So I guess it's just the power up of each move and the weakening of Dragon type moves.
Yes, exactly. Having that fairy on the field, basically gonna be looking to get bigger and better booms, especially with those stars dropping on down. Especially, think about this, the Max Starfall really targeted on the Haxorus, indeed gonna be tanking that one, but if that Haxorus took that damage, well, it's gonna be at a critical state. Here we go though again.
Follow me to protect that Haxorus for one more turn, because that Max Starfall follow-up probably going to kill the Indeedee on both sides actually with a Max Quake, I believe.
Yeah, these leads really putting Nigel at a disadvantage, but he's been working hard to turn things around, able to keep his own Indeedee on the bench, his own Hatterene rather on the bench, as the Indeedee goes down onto the side of Francis. Another special defense, a good way to get bulkier and bulkier.
This Haxorus has gotten so much bulkier now. We'll see if Hatterene still has the damage to actually take down that Haxorus later on in the match. we might have to resort to more physical moves like that Surfetch and Darmanitan later. We do see that critical hit on that Indeedee, but I'm not sure how much that mattered as Indeedee was pretty low on
It
HP.
doesn't matter, it is dead in that regard anyway. So both Indeedees down for the count. Now we'll see what Francis and Nigel have in store with one Dynamax turn left. We haven't seen any of the life art action so far. We haven't seen any of the Torkoals. I feel like Nigel is in the spot to set up that Trick Room here, and now here we go with the Hatterene coming on. That's Darmanitan though in response, and Francis is looking for the KO before the room begins to open.
It's very dangerous now for both players actually, as Nigel can threaten with the setup of Trick Room by sacrificing his Haxorus, and on the other side Francis with his Darmanitan being able to target either of those two Pokemon, maybe dealing a huge chunk of damage, especially to that Haxorus with that Ice Punch.
It's going to be very, very close here for both of our players. We'll see what kind of sacrifices they're willing to make in this regard, especially if Darmanitan can go for the target, can get targeted in response. Backswing Gartado from the Haxorus to start things off into this matchup. And the Darmanitan stays alive.
Taking it like a champ.
Yeah, pretty defensive. They're pretty bulky enough. More special defense though to help things out. The Haxorus is primed for a long game. And here we go with the Ice Punch.
The Ice Punch.
Oh, really?
And it's still enough to take it.
It's still enough. Unfortunately, it is of the physical variant, so no defenses means you're going down to one fall swoop. And pay attention to that. That is potentially a choice item on Darmanitan. You usually see them in the first place, as here we go with the Max Ghost Swoop.
The Hatterene does survive that Max Phantasm with 3 HP. We'll see what the Hatterene wants to do with now that it stays alive for one turn.
Yeah.
Maybe it
he gets the Trick Room out! The Trick Room is out, and the Darmanitan gonna be at a disadvantage here in this regard. Now, what does Nigel have in store? Does he have that Torkoal in behind? It might just be for the sweep, but no, it's the Jellicent. It's the Jellicent instead. So it's very interesting. The male Jellicent gonna be into the field, will be looking to just mop up the floor, especially with some of those body abilities if it does get touched.
You have to remember though that both Hatterenes on both sides are actually pretty slow. Hatterene, if I believe, it's like base 20 something
it's
speed.
pretty low there. So the Hatterenes will go first. The Jellicent should go after all of that, and the Darmanitan gonna be lagging behind. Here we go with the Dazzling Gleam, looking to get the KO with the wide move.
It does kill the Darmanitan, and we just see it is now Hatterene. We haven't seen the last Pokemon for Francis yet. The Hatterene does die for Nigel's side.
Yeah, from its Life Orb, I believe. Here comes the Shadow Ball onto the Hatterene. Slow and steady wins the race, but apparently it's going to be enough. And we are turned into a singles format into this one.
Yes, it is now a 1v1 with Jellicent versus whatever Francis has in the back. We'll see if he has the Pokemon to take care of it. And it is Surfetch, probably Surfetch, more known as his fast Pokemon. We'll see if Surfetch has the damage to take care of Jellicent. If I believe Surfetch probably carries stuff like Leaf Blade. And, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember what Surfetch does.
Yeah, it might have those kind of things, flying moves, fighting moves. But here we go with the Hydro Pump. It's going to be some damage. This is going to be max damage here. 100 HP versus the Leaf Blade. And here comes the cuts. 3 hits and you're out.
And it is a critical
crit even to mop the floor. But I feel like Francis could have gotten that one without the crit even. We are back to 1 apiece in this matchup. And I just want to talk about real quick, Bao. That Darmanitan, it packed a very strong punch.
A very strong ice punch.
Very strong ice punch. No, but in a regard like that, you expect the Darmanitan to, of course, to have a choice item thanks to its ability. Right?
Of course.
It was like, alright, you can only do one move, and then
you might as well double
up and do that one move twice. So the real question is, what choice item does it have? I don't think it's a Scarf, actually, in a matchup like this. It might be the Band?
I feel like the Band or the Scarf, either is either is enough to probably outspeed that Haxorus. Not the speediest offensive threat known, especially in this metagame. And this metagame actually very slow compared to previous ones.
Yeah, and just the damage output there from the Darmanitan might be putting it more onto the Band's edge. But speaking of the edge of the knife there from the Surfetch, able to mop the floor, and it was just a proper time. The Hatterene was gone from Nigel's side. And the Indeedee was out and about as well. It was gone after that first few turns.
Those Indeedees actually just attracting attention for the first 4 turns of the match until they died.
Yeah, they were just a decoy there. But anyway, We're gonna be looking at the teams one last time. Everything similar except to Surfetch, as well as Darts and Marathon on Francis' side. Here for Nigel though, it is that Haxorus and the Jellicent. So the thing to note is Nigel is more inclined to go for that Trick Room, having a Jellicent also gives him a second option just in case he needs it to be.
We do see the Indeedee Haxorus from Nigel again, and we do see the exact same lead for both teams from the previous game. We'll see how either player switches it up. We have already seen what happens if both players just go for attacks and follow me's. We'll see how we'll see if any player deviates from the strategy earlier or if it's just to break some turns down.
Yeah, anyway, here we go yet again. Round 3 fight, and it's the same old shenanigans one more time. So how are you guys enjoying this PGP tournament? We've been having a fun one here, and we hope to see you guys into our future events, especially from the PGP Edge. Support your Pokemon scene, support your local scene, and go to your locals. Enjoy the ass and make some new friends, and see these Dynamax Pokemon going for the fight yet again. Haxorus back into the field with one more go. Gonna be looking to dominate with its blades.
It almost feels like I'm watching Godzilla versus Mothra in this matchup. Hatterene might be... It actually doesn't Dynamax this match.
No Dynamax this time. Francis changing things up. But apparently, earlier on, the Dynamax Hatterene really helping him out to set the pace. Here comes the follow me's though. Francis I feel very confident with the Dazzling Gleam onto the Hatterene side.
He goes for the Max Quake. Will naturally faster Haxorus. We'll see what the Hatterene has to do now.
He has to, by this point, just keeping those special defenses up to try and stay alive. But he needs more than the +3 apparently.
He needs more than the +3 to survive. He finally goes for the Trick Room
Okay, now
himself.
so it's Francis going for the Trick Room into this one. This has to be a very different approach here for the Blue Hand side. It might not be that the Manatee into the bench anymore. Might actually see a Torkoal here, but we'll see if Francis will decide to go on to that regard, because he's the one who set up the speed. Gonna be onto the slower edge. Hatterene, of course, gonna be faster now than the Haxorus. Will we see a Dynamax next turn?
We could see either Dynamax Hatterene or we could see it saved for the Torkoal later. But Torkoal normally not the Dynamax recipient, as it does have that super powerful eruption from its side. And we do see that the Dynamax Hatterene coming out from Francis' side. Especially after that Trick Room now.
I like that play so much. Francis realizing that in a mirror matchup like this, he can buy the time to get the Trick Room, and now the Hatterene will go first against that Haxorus. That is a big deal, especially if the Starfall does connect. But what does Nigel do in response? There go with the Indeedee follow me on Francis' side, making sure that his Hatterene is not going to go down anytime soon. In the meantime, here we go with the counter follow me, so the Indeedee going to be tanking this one up, but at Haxorus has been marked for death. It's going to be 3 seconds to its demise as soon as it comes, or in this regard, probably got to be a turn or two.
Probably two more turns. Give it 2 more turns for the Indeedee to die to multiple max Starfalls.
Yeah, maybe leaving a Shadow behind here, but here we go with the Mist yet again, gonna be amplifying all of that damage even more so. Max Quake here and now from the Haxorus, but it doesn't even matter how many pluses you have on that special defense, as long as the Hatterene is on the field and looking to dominate this fight, that Haxorus will go down in one fell swoop. Special defense going up, +2, still not enough. We've seen before.
We actually haven't seen any moves from Haxorus other than that Max Quake.
Yeah, we don't even know what the Max Quake is to begin with. Is it an Earthquake? Is it something else?
It is Torkoal now here. We'll see. We will see that Drought, and that follow me probably not gonna do a lot. If Francis goes for an eruption just to KO the Indeedee, and if he does KO the Indeedee, that means that the Hatterene free to deal damage to the Haxorus as much as he wants.
Yeah, this is really looking good for Francis. He has the Trick Room set up. He has the slower Pokemon on the field, which means he will get that priority. And Torkoal and Hatterene both looking to just destroy in both regards. The Torkoal has been basically one of the OG destroyers, basically OGTR destroyers. As soon as the turtle's on the field, it's gonna be a volcano waiting to erupt, and we can see that Torkoal look to burn on down any kind of opposition.
The thing about it is though, Nigel's backline has Hatterene, the Jellicent, and the Torkoal all benefit from Trick Room themselves. So we'll see what Nigel has to do to play with this Trick Room.
Yeah, and then here comes the eruption. The DD gonna go down. It doesn't even matter how much it's gonna be alive. Now Francis gonna try to get that kill with the Starfall. Nigel was desperate. He went for the helping hand. If the Haxorus stays alive,
and
then
it does because of that max quake, that +2 max quake.
+2, dude. We were disregarding it so much. Apparently, it was enough in this instance. In the max quake, gonna go onto the Torkoal. The helping hand from the grave gonna be so potent. And Nigel still in this fight, +3 right now. Apparently, it's a different story when these Pokemon are both Dynamax instead of just tossing those Dazzling Beams out like candy.
Indeed. Earlier, the Haxorus that was +3, it actually died to a physical move instead of a special.
Oh yeah, it was the Ice Punch. You're right. You're right.
Which is why the special defense not really matters.
Why did you mention it to me? Why did you correct me earlier on, Mr. Powell, making me look like a fool?
It's something I remember just now. It's like looking at his team, I saw the Dermatan just spoke. I just remembered, like, what was the Ice Punch?
It was the Ice Punch. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So the +1 was not enough. That's for sure.
The +1 would not have been enough.
The +2 is a little shaky. But right now the +3, but no, he's at 51 HP. This is dangerous territory for the Haxorus.
But you have to remember, this is on Trick Room, and Torkoal is probably the fastest Pokemon in this.
Yeah, that Torkoal is.
We'll see a huge eruption maybe from Nigel's side.
Yeah, and the chatter going all around. But here we go with the eruption.
Surfetch
goes down to 1 fell swoop. The Hatterene half HP. Can Nigel turn things around? The Fat Assassin right now from the Hatterene onto the Torkoal. 31 HP though, stays alive, tanky enough. And this is now a reversal of fortunes. We've seen the speed get flipped on its head, but apparently advantage now on Nigel's side.
We do see the Iron Tail from the Haxorus. Not enough to, actually not enough to kill the Hatterene.
That is game, set, and match by this point. Francis is gonna withdraw from this matchup, making sure that Nigel doesn't expose any more besides that Iron Tail. And it's gonna be this show here in the Dynamax ends 3 HP by disregard. Doesn't even matter what comes by this point. The Torkoal will go first. I would love to see. Can Torkoal learn quick attack? It can't. I wish it could.
Do you think a tortoise that slow would learn a quick attack?
No, extreme speed.
Extreme speed. Of course.
Even better. You know.
Yes, the Trick Room speed.
Yeah, the speediest of them all. But yeah, just one more eruption should be able to knock things off. There we go.
Yes.
With the forfeit, as we said. And Nigel will take that close one. 2-1.
It's a shame we didn't see a Liepard from either side.
No Liepards here, guys. But again, you are not on camera, Mr. Powell. But we will be back, guys, for another match. We've been having some really solid grassroots competition here, and it's been a fun one. That was
very fun.
Pretty hype matchup. We'll see what round 6 has to offer in just a bit.